Welcome to the Airgun Show. First up, I'd like to congratulate Paul Holston on winning the MTC competition to mark our 200th episode. Well done, Paul. Your prize should be on its way to you very soon. Now, back to this week's episode. I'm going to be taking a look at the GRT version of the BSA Lightning XL SE, but before that, Richard Saunders is heading out on what turns out to be a heck of a session on the rats.
I'm down on one of my absolute favourite permissions today. It's a free-range chicken farm. Now, rats are a problem here because they not only spread a disease risk potentially, but they also eat their way through a small fortune in eggs and chicken feed each year. Now, I shoot an awful lot of rats down here with my mates Neil and Kevin, but we only tend to get opportunities when the rats are moving in between the buildings at night, because most of the time they're inside the sheds where they're nice and safe. Now, what happens is about every 18 months the farmer here changes the flock. And what happens is all the birds get moved out, the shed when it's empty gets pulled back into the field where it can be steam cleaned, and all the muck gets scraped up. Now when that happens, obviously all the rats are displaced, and that gives us a really good opportunity to crack down on the numbers. So in a little while we're going to pull this shed back off the runners into the field. The rats will go absolutely crazy because obviously their world has been turned upside down, but we won't have an opportunity to shoot them with air rifles today because of that. But over the next 24-48 hours they'll calm down a little bit, and that's when we'll get our opportunity to really get the numbers under control. So you saw, actually it was a couple of days ago now, the shed was pulled back into the field. The farmer's been on the phone. He said to me that there's rats all over the place. They're hiding underneath pallets and machinery all over the farm. So I think we're going to get a few tonight. Now the gear I've got is a Daystate Delta Wolf. It's a 177 12-foot-pound rifle, 13-shot magazine and lots of shots in it. And on top I've got an ATN X-Sight 4K Pro, so that I can obviously shoot in the dark through the IR and record some footage. And that's held on with a set of Sports Match scope mounts as ever. I saw a bunch underneath some containers. I don't normally see them there, but they're spread out all over the place. Somehow I managed to miss the first one, but that only made another 3 or 4 poke their heads out from underneath the containers, and I got 3 of them in a row. That's a manky old thing, only had one eye. there's some pipes over there by the side of the containers, and it seems to be a popular little spot. I've seen loads in there, and I managed to thread a pellet through that time and get one. Well, that one was quite a bit further away. I've zeroed this rifle at 15 metres, and that one was probably, I should think, a good 30-35 yards away. So I gave him a little bit of holdover, but he went down nice and cleanly. I can see loads over the other side of the farm here, and leave some pallets. So I'm going to sneak over, see if I can get a shot. Well, I think that's enough for one night. Shot plenty of rats tonight. I'm going to go and have a pick up, and then I'm going to come back again tomorrow night and hopefully get a few more. Right, it's night 2, come back again, exactly the same setup as before, same rifle, same tactics. Just hope I get another load more. Well, rats love a pallet, and I shot that one there, and I could hear a load more squealing, so I think I'm going to stay here for a little while, see if I can get a few more. Well, that one was in the open field, in the open grass there. It's getting late, there's loads of rats to pick up, so I'm going to go and grab my grabber and my bucket, pick them all up, and I'm sure I'll be back again in the next few nights, get some more. But until then, thanks for watching.
A terrific tally on the rats for Rich there. Next up, I'm going to be taking a look at the GRT or gas ram technology version of the BSA Lightning XL SE. We feature a lot of expensive kit on the Airgun Show, and while fancy gear is all well and good, we shouldn't overlook the fact that it's simplicity and affordability that attracts a lot of people to our sport. Now, what I've got here is the GRT version of the BSA Lightning XL SE. And this is an airgun made very much to fulfill those simple demands and yet remains a quality piece of kit. This model of the Lightning is powered by a gas ram and comes with stock options of either beach or black. Now obviously this is the beach version and it has a retail price of £349. Now despite being relatively affordable when compared with high-end PCPs, this gun still has the precision and power to tackle live quarry and is also a pretty handsome looking air rifle. The Lightning's good looks can be attributed in part to its stock, which apart from being well designed, also has a really nice anti-glare finish in the beach version. Now it's of the classic sporter design with a nice long fore end that features substantial patches of neat checkering on either side. The stock is ambidextrous and the same checkering is present on the pistol grip, which is nicely scalloped to cradle your hand. Now behind that is a high cheek piece which provides great eye scope alignment, and the butt section is finished with a squashy rubber pad which soaks up what little recoil this gun produces. Unscoped, this gun tips the scales at around 3 kilos. Now it's under 99 centimeters long, which makes it fairly compact, and with this setup the point of balance falls about 8 centimeters in front of the trigger, which makes it feel really nicely balanced. Now BSA has a talent for building what I would describe as real shooters airguns, and this is certainly one of them. BSA also has a reputation for delivering very solid build quality, and they have certainly done that with the Lightning. It may look elegant, but it feels rock solid and doesn't have any disconcerting rattles when you give it a shake. Now, the engineering all looks sound and it's really nicely finished. This actually isn't a new gun, but an ex-demo model. Now, it's had some pretty heavy use, but it's weathered it very well and still looks really tidy. This is a scope-only gun, so there are no open sights. Now, it is equipped with dovetail rails, and these incorporate BSA's Maxi Grip scope rail. Now, this rail incorporates integral shock absorbers which help to soak up any movement from the gun's fast gas ram action, preventing any shake or creep of the scope. The Stubby Barrel is BSA's famous cold hammer forged barrel, which is renowned for being very accurate. On this model, it's housed inside a full-length silencer, which I think really enhances the gun's looks. It also does a pretty good job of hushing down the muzzle report. The trigger is a 2-stage unit with a classic curved blade that has a nice wide face that transmits plenty of feel. Now you can adjust the second stage, but this one was set up fairly well straight out of the box. The first stage is pretty light, but the second stage is positive and predictable with no obvious creep. There is a simple safety catch positioned on the right side of the cylinder just above the trigger. Now that location makes it easy to access, and you nudge it back to make the gun safe and then push it forwards when you're ready to shoot. Power is right up where it should be, at just over 11 foot-pounds on the .22 caliber test gun, and consistency is within 10 feet per second over a string of 10 shots, which is very good. Now, some break barrel air guns that are churning out full power can be a bit of a strain to cock, but I was actually surprised at just how easy this one is to cock, especially considering that leverage is reduced by that short barrel. The cocking stroke is very smooth, and the effort will certainly be manageable for most shooters, even most youngsters. Now, the extra gripping area provided by that large silencer certainly plays a part there. Now, loading is direct to the breech, as you'd expect, and the barrel lockup feels extremely secure. The firing cycle is also surprisingly smooth. Now, of course, there is some recoil, but it comes straight back into your shoulder with no twist or wobble. Now, it also feels like quite a fast firing cycle, but it's not snappy like some gas rams can be. And also, there's none of the twang and reverberation that you can get with Springers. Now, I think that swift firing cycle is certainly going to help to improve accuracy. As most of us know, shooting technique plays a big part when it comes to achieving precise pellet placement with a recoiling airgun. This one has the potential for some pretty impressive accuracy. Shot from a bench, it's easily capable of half-inch groups at 25 metres as long as you do your bit. So, that's the GRT version of the BSA Lightning XL SE. It certainly proves that you don't have to spend an absolute fortune or be tied to constant bottle filling to enjoy shooting a decent airgun. Despite being relatively affordable, it's a quality gas ram air rifle. And apart from being great fun to shoot on the range or in the garden, it also has the power and precision to tackle live quarry in the field or around the farmyard. I'm afraid that's all we have time for in this week's episode, but as always, we'll be back again in a fortnight. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. And if you aren't already a member of the BASC, have a look at their website and check out the benefits that you could be taking advantage of through Airgun membership.
Don't miss the award-winning Airgun Shooter magazine. It's packed with hunting features, reviews, tactics and insight to help you become an even more successful shooter. Get your copy today in shops or online.